Hey guys, it's Skulker3, and I have a few sort of things to clear up at the start of this part. I'm sorry I didn't do any uploading pretty much last week. This video is actually recorded in time for Wednesday, but as I was going to edit it, like I recorded it on Monday I think, then was going to edit it on Wednesday, and somehow the audio file disappeared. Like my commentary. The file for my commentary has disappeared. That's the same for tomorrow's episode of Colin Bound as well, so I'm having to do those in post. I'm recording this on the day I'm uploading it as well, so I'm somewhat running out of time, but it should all be alright. But yeah, I would have done it last week, but towards the tail end of last week I was getting all set up to head back home, as in packing up every single thing that I own in my house in Manchester, so I could move back into my parents' house for a bit. So that's why I didn't really have much time to do any editing, but I'm back now, and I would be back, like, hopefully have a good old regular upload schedule and everything, but as you may recall, if you watched and paid attention to my return video, in which I just sort of talked about things, the start of next week will be my interrailing. I've already got some videos pre-recorded for that. I'm planning on recording more as we go along. I'm doing a lot of umming and ahhing, very sorry, but I'm planning on spending more of this week doing that. Obviously I also have to pack for interrailing, so I'm sorry if some uploads don't get made in time or things like that. I have plans in mind, don't worry, so I should be alright to at least upload several videos in my interrailing time, but yeah, so I'll try and get uploads done this week fine. I'll try and get uploads for as much of interrailing done fine as possible. Yeah, bear in mind also I won't be able to read comments or anything like that during interrailing, so if you need to contact me between the 23rd of June and I'm not sure, I want to say it was like the 13th of July. I can't entirely remember. I put it in the other video. I might put up a little text thing here saying when. But yeah, I won't be reachable particularly, so if you have a suddenly pressing matter, then too bad, essentially. However, after interrailing, there should be a good chance that I'll be back to just good old normal Skull Kid 3 regular updates. You know what's going on, it's fine. I can upload videos and whatever. It should all be good from that point on. But yeah, just for now, uploads are going to be a bit erratic. But you've definitely got this part, which, unless something else goes unbelievably wrong, then should be uploaded today, all well and fine and everything. But yes, so Golden Sun, this part I'm leaving in all of the fights. I'm very sorry. I'm not that sorry, I mean you guys can deal with the fights being left in. But it's because I can't really edit out when I don't know what it is that I originally said, so I might be doing important things, or I might just be doing completely useless crap. Oh yeah, this is the part where I was first realizing, oh yeah, I can totally set the shoulder buttons, because I never use them, and I'm never really likely to. But another reason I'm leaving in the fights for this one is because I remember that for this entire thing I was very heavily experimenting with summoning things. Because I wanted to raise people's water power and earth power and, you know, all the elemental powers, basically. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of fights like that. I could go through and edit everything out, but honestly, it's looking like it's going to take enough time to make this video as is. So I think if I can just ask you guys to forgive the random battles, they shouldn't be in future installments too much, unless, you know, we're fighting new enemies or I need to show something in particular off. But at least these fights are fairly exciting, because you get to see, you know, ridiculous, amazing powers being used on, you know, what is essentially a little bat. You know, it's pretty damn good time. That's what I love about, like, fantasy RPGs and everything, is you can just have these enormous beasts coming in and just wrecking everyone's shit, no matter how small the enemy is. It's like, okay, so we have a tiny little shrew that is sort of looking at us vaguely menacingly, but not much. I remember this is where I was having trouble finding the right guy, because he jumped into a stump, but then he wasn't there anymore. And here was me being a bit of a dunce, very sorry. Yeah, no, it's just so cool. You can summon an enormous dragon, or you can sometimes even become an enormous dragon. Excuse me. And use it to swat a fly. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. If I could turn into a dragon on demand, and use it to swat flies, I might. It would probably be more trouble than it's worth, though. I think most houses aren't really sized to accommodate a dragon. Yeah, rooms are generally a bit small. I mean, I could turn into a small dragon, I suppose, but you know, that's barely even doing anything. You know, might as well just turn into a lizard. Then again, lizards would be pretty good for getting flies. Just wiggle, and that's the sound of a lizard sticking out its tongue, obviously. For those of you who don't have quite the trained auditory nerves that I do. I'm just trying to remember what I've missed. Like, what has disappeared in the audio file going away. I'm not quite sure what happened. Like, I did a cleanup of some of my files recently. I guess it must have just got caught in there, but the weird thing is, like, I went to my recycle bin, and I swear some of the files I had deleted at the same time were still there. But the audio one just wasn't. So unless I, like, forgot to save the audio in the first place, but that seems very unlikely. But yeah. But for anyone who doesn't know Golden Sun, as I don't, to be fair, then all I'm doing here is I'm getting into a lot of fights while I still have my Jin equipped. Then I'm using their special skills during the fight, just for the fun of it. I could unequip them from the menus. And I think I start doing that later, maybe. But, yeah, because when you have fewer Jin equipped, then you can summon more powerful things related to that element. So if you have 3 Earth Jin total, and you have 3 unequipped, then you can summon anything that takes only 1 Earth Jin, anything which takes 2, or anything that takes 3. If you have 3 but only 2 are unequipped, you can only summon anything up to 2. And then if you have 3 and 2 of them are equipped, you can only summon the first level of Earth power. And yeah, it's really cool. Like, I don't know if I'm wasting my time experimenting with all this raising Earth power and everything, but I doubt I am, because it sounds good. And yeah, I think I forgot to mention, it's just I spent this part at the very start. I just gave everyone their one unique element, so the one they'd been assigned at the very start. I mean, I could set it up so that David was using all wind element and everything. But I decided against it just because I felt like it. You know, I mean, if you guys in the comments have recommendations for what I could do, then please go ahead. Don't spoil anything. But if you have any recommendations of, oh yeah, you should definitely be balancing everyone, or oh no, you should definitely get everyone to specialize in one specific thing, then, you know, go right ahead and yell in the comments. I'd appreciate a bit of nudging. This guy was cool. And another thing I have to mention about the powers is the lower leveled people. So if summon anything with just 1 Jin, we'll raise it by, I believe it was 20. Anything with level 2 would raise it by 30, and anything with level 3 will raise it by 60. And I might have those numbers wrong, but I don't know, I think it was 10, 30, 60, rather than 20, 30, 60. But if your final move kills all of the enemies on screen, or kills the last enemy on screen, then you don't get the Earth power from what I can see. It might do it sort of automatically but not show the animation. But as far as I can tell, you don't get the benefit from it. So be very careful with that. So if your enemies are very weak, consider just using low-leveled people so that they have a chance of staying alive, so that you can get at least some boost out of it. I mean, it's not a big problem, because you can always just... it's not a big problem because you can always just get into another fight and try again with that, but it's also another good thing to take into consideration is your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. So these guys, I believe, are weak to Earth. So let me just check. yeah, they had 3 exclamation marks, so this killed them all automatically. However, if I'd used Mia to summon the 3rd level water person, or I think I only have 2 Jin at this point, so the 2nd level water person, that probably wouldn't have killed the skeletons because they have a resistance to water. So bear that in mind as well when you summon the awesome elemental power of the gods to fight for you. There's the guy. I think is this the first time we've seen him this video? Wow, 10.5 minutes and I've only just found him. Good job, Joe. Good job. Yeah, I do find... I think I must be one of those Let's Players that you have to have a lot of patience with when they're doing a blind Let's Play, because... I don't know, I've somehow never realized before just how bad I am at, like, finding the right puzzle solutions. You'll see more of that in next Monday's upload, which will be the first Ethereal video, and it's something a bit different. It's not... I'm gonna be nice and obscure here so that you guys don't entirely guess what it is, but it's something that's really rare for my channel, but it has... the likes of it have been done before. The exact thing itself hasn't, but something very similar has. So yeah, it is a game. It's still a Let's Play, just about. But the style of my Let's Play is a bit different, and it's not a game or game series or game genre or or it's just not a game I typically Let's Play. That's all I'm going to tell you. I hope you enjoy it though. I definitely enjoyed playing the game, but regardless. I was saying something. But yeah, I think I'm really bad at... It's not necessarily I'm bad at solving puzzles. It's more like I know how to solve the puzzle, but I look in all the wrong places to get all the components for it. So sort of go, okay, so I need to find... Well, like... Yeah, so I need to find a specific object. I will look everywhere, and then eventually I'll find it in a really obvious place that for some reason I hadn't thought of. Or... what I think happens more commonly is I focus on the wrong thing. So I start going, okay, so this guy needs a hat. We'll just use random examples here, just... So I'll think, I see a guy who doesn't have a hat, and I'll see someone whose leg is bleeding. Now, for some reason, I think, okay, I need to go find a hat for that guy, and go around looking everywhere for a hat. When in reality, all I need to do is walk over to the corner, get a bandage, give the guy who has the wounded leg the bandage. Where the fuck have these examples come from? But anyway, and he gives me a key, I go to a room and there's a hat in there. That's the sort of thing I mean, like, I go and try and find solutions to different puzzles, or puzzles that don't even exist. You'll see that in Monday's video, quite a lot. Yes, I'm very sorry, I have done editing, don't worry, so quite a lot of my fails, well, a few of my fails have been cut out. Or at least condensed, but yeah, I definitely had some problems. I'm still wondering where my examples for hat and bandage came from. Well, you know, I hope it made it clear. It seemed to make it clear in my own mind, but it might not have to you. I've just realised how little I've been talking about the game in this, although... To be fair, that's mostly because this is a fairly repetitive section of the game. It's just, you go around, you look for the right stumps. I think this was me trying to get into a fight to raise my earth power because I sensed a boss battle coming, but I was wrong. So, you know, there's not a boss battle. Okay, yeah, I think this is an example of using... No, never mind. I used full power, which is a silly move because these guys, I believe, are very weak to Jupiter, which is what... Ivan is using at the moment. So, yeah, he's super effective, so that obviously killed it. If I'd used a level 3 something which it was resistant to, I'm not sure what that would be. I want to say that would be... Mercury? Hang on, I can't remember what they all are. Okay, I think Saturn is the Earth one. Mars is the Fire one. Jupiter is the wind one, and Mercury is the water one, I think. So yeah, I think it's resistant to Saturn. This thing is resistant to the earth element. I should probably have just started with earth element, really, it would make a lot more sense. Yeah, I do want to know, right? I mean, I know Ramses, at least, but sort of where do these bosses, well, not these bosses, these summonable things come from? like, are they sort of mythological things mostly, or sort of historical figures, or what? I'm kind of interested in knowing that. If anyone knows, again, write me something in the comments. I'd like to see that. This guy is so cool, but I'm pretty sure it kills all of these guys, and it really annoys me because I'm like, damn it, I just want Ivan to get some more wind power. Is that too much to ask for? But yeah, so this entire part, as I said, it's like dedicated to me trying to get Earth, not just Earth power, but trying to get elemental powers boosted up as much as I can. And I think overall it's an alright strategy. However, I would recommend if you're going into a boss fight, as I do later, going into a boss fight, I'd recommend you start with all of your Jinn equipped, and then use them in battle, because releasing a Jinn gives you a specific skill. It lowers your stats, but either they'll do an attack on the enemy, they'll give it a status ailment, or they'll boost your party up. And I would definitely recommend saving that then for those guys. So yeah, as you can see, using the firepower on that guy was quite a good idea, and using the... Do I only have 2 fire Jinn? I think I do. But yeah, once you've weakened an enemy, it's a good idea to use weaker Jinn, or weaker summons. I think I've repeated myself several hundred times here, but yeah, I think you understand the concept at least. I interrupted myself, and I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, so in a boss fight I'd recommend you desummon the Jinn as you go along, because then you can put their skills to good use rather than having them unequipped at the very start. Because also then you have the lower stats right away to begin with, which is not very helpful. Now you see, I'm giving you all these recommendations, but, you know, I'm hardly exactly an expert at Golden Sun, so other people might say, well say, no, don't do that, you absolute moron. If you keep all your Jinn equipped, then they have better stats, and then you can kill the guy more efficiently, and just save the Jinn for small fights or whatever. But, you know, it seems to get me through a later fight well enough, so, you know, I'm just gonna keep it up and do what I want. I remember David had a lot of trouble keeping enemies alive after he killed them. Allow me to just evaluate that sentence. It's hard for him to keep them alive after killing them. Yeah, that's generally kind of tricky. No, I meant it's hard for him to attack them using his special god powers without them dying, which makes a bit more sense. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of learning each enemy's strengths and weaknesses a bit better. I just realised there was a weird jump in the thing there. Oh yeah, that'll be because the video would have split into 2 at that point, which is really annoying, I find, because the first video file is perfectly in sync and everything, and then the second one isn't, so I have to fiddle with the second one, and then in editing join them together, which isn't too much of a problem, but it would just be easier if neither of them were desynced at all, and I could just get on with my life, but no, apparently not. So yes, this is the room where we have our boss battle. Hello, goodbye. And so you might think, oh okay, he's led us to the exit of the forest then, has he? But not entirely. Although you might not think he has led you to the exit of the forest because you have no idea how far through you are. Excuse me. But yeah, this is like the exit of the forest. But, as I said, there's a boss battle coming up just after we kill these guys, who I would like to be dead rather soon, so that we can just get on and show off our boss for the day. You see, I'm just wondering, like, if it's more worth having everybody just have one element, or having mixing and matching, or even having everyone have an element but not the element they started with, so maybe making David an entire water person, or Garrett an entire earth person, or something like that. There's probably merits to just about every strategy, and that's why I really love this Jinn mechanic, because it's so complex, and honestly, a bit mind-boggling. But it's, you know, it just allows for so much variation in your battling, which a lot of RPGs don't really offer. You just you know, you can go like, okay, so I can cast fire, lightning, or I can attack with my sword. And that's about all you can do. So yeah, this Jin thing is a really good extra system for battles, but it's not my favourite RPG turn-based battling. That definitely belongs to Paper Mario. At least the earlier iterations of it, Paper Mario 1 and Thousand Year Door. I think they had the perfect sort of balance. They had the badges which gave you more skills, they had action commands which meant that the fights weren't just attack! Okay, now he's attacked. You had to actually time things perfectly, you had to... there was ways to dodge the attacks, and you felt like you were doing it rather than, you know, the random number generator just took pity on you. I think it's a really good sort of good battle system, especially Thousand Year Door with like the extra hard to do but more rewarding super block sort of thing. You know, you take no damage and return fire on the enemy, but you have to be ridiculously precise with it. It's a really excellent one. But yeah, this is a killer ape. In case you hadn't already spotted that. One thing I find really weird with all of the bosses in Golden Sun is like they're really nice sprites and everything, but they're really out of focus. Like, I mean, you can tell they've sort of been scaled up images of other things, and so battles all look really weird. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I don't like dislike this fight or any other boss fights I've had so far, but it's just, I don't know, it always kind of distracts me just that little bit. You also have to be careful when you're summoning things because your Jin will have a cooldown time, so you can't use them immediately after you've summoned them back again using your ultimate god powers. But yeah, just bear that in mind when you're playing this at home, which I don't, as far as I'm aware, no one's playing this at home with me, which is a bit of a shame. I'd like it if they were. No one said they are at least, but kabloosh. How do you pronounce that name? Nereid? Nereid? Water Woman. That's how I'll say it. Cool. So yeah, this fight, I don't know, the way I've done it, it's pretty simple. Like I'm pretty sure he must be fairly close to dead because there's only like 2 minutes of video left. But yeah, I think David misses out another chance to get Earth Power. Cause yeah, I'm pretty sure he kills him with Ramses right here. Yeah, I remember him recording, I was like, God damn it! David just can't get any more Earth Power! Yeah, so I guess I just need to go find a lot of enemies which are resistant to Earth and just kill them all using David. Probably a good idea, but yeah, Killer Ape. He was kind of fun. Didn't really do that much, but that's fine with us. But yes, with that done, that is the end of today's part of Let's Play Golden Sun. So thank you very much for joining me for it, and I shall see you again on Wednesday, hopefully, for the next one. I shall see you then, guys. Goodbye.